This is about Anaxa. I should read this. Hyacinth, you should come have a look too.
Ugh, it's so dusty in here. Whoa. Are these all complaints about him? I can already see what they must have written. Anaxa has no respect for the gods. His very existence undermines order in our society. They're probably all things like that.
Does Anaxa hold that much influence?
Why else would they call him the Great Performer? When Anaxa established his school of thought, the first thing he apparently did was read his own work to everyone. Are the Titans truly an accurate reflection of what humans think gods should be? Worlds created by gods are indubitably perfect, but what of Amphorius? Only foolishness and insensitivity everywhere you turn.
An uncanny impersonation. What happened after?
They marched him straight to the seat of judgment before he could finish. Though what he took on in the end was more of a debate than an actual trial. He had to address every one of the scholar's allegations, or face expulsion from the grove. The first allegation was... Do you agree that since the Titans created the heavens and earth, so the mountains, rivers, and seas must likewise be their creations?
Am I supposed to put myself in Anaxa's shoes and answer that? Based on the history of the Flame Chase journey, humans have the potential to take over the divinity of Titans.
Anaxa said the same thing then. Needless to say, his critics didn't take kindly to his answer, so they followed up with a second allegation. You claim to be studying souls, yet you are, in fact, defiling them and committing acts condemned by the gods. Do you admit it?
That's a serious allegation. Did he really do that?
Anaxa always wears an eye patch, never removing it, even when alone. Some say he used one of his eyes as an alchemical ingredient. Every being in the world owes their safekeeping to Kithily, and this is even more so for the Chrysos heirs who have divine blood coursing through them. If he has really done something of that nature, then it'd indeed be sacrilegious. Thankfully, they had no way to prove it, so it amounted to nothing more than an allegation in the end. One by one, Anaxa engaged in wars of words against those who would challenge him. Toward the end, a scholar asked him, Anaxagoras, have you any respect for the gods? It was only after a brief silence that he answered, I have never denied that Titans are meant to be noble constructs.
What he didn't say, that the Titans are not noble, rings louder in this case.
Yes. I'm not sure how that controversy was eventually resolved. But what's for certain, at least, is that Anaxa was allowed to stay in the grove where he continued his research, despite being regarded as a heretic. By the way, this stack of complaint letters has reminded me of a place in the grove. We may find clues there that aren't on the teleslate. I'm talking about Anaxa's alchemy lab, hidden between the cornerstones.
Given the grove's meticulous approach to archiving, could there really be such an oversight right under their noses?
It's a well-kept secret. Among the 7 sages, excluding the nominal chief sage, each has a private sanctuary where they can conduct research undisturbed in their free time. Even the administrators of the Library of Philia are restricted from accessing those places and documenting the sage's research. But with the grove in this state, I'm sure Anaxa won't be mad even if we sneak into the lab for a short while. Right?
These trees, they're like a maze. impressive tenacity. Hopefully it helped him survive the Black Tide.
This is the place, but where is everything? Materials for alchemical experiments, matrix diagrams, and even the seal to the lab. They're all gone. Did the Black Tide destroy it all?
No wonder we didn't see any defense mechanisms along the way. Have you ever been here before?
No, not even close. Not only are alchemy experiments high-risk activities, but Professor Anaxa also has a penchant for using bizarre materials. Students often saw him walk in looking right as rain, but come out covered in soot with his hair singed. Naturally, no one dared to come near this place. Huh? That bookshelf over there seems to be the only thing still intact. What's going on? Anaxa is conducting research on our friends in Alchema and... me?
This journal contains several intriguing points. From the Abyss of Fate to Castrum Krumnos, I've seen many a Titan creation during my time in Amphorius. Life forms created by Circes can also be found in the Grove. But fusing them with human souls through alchemical means? I can't even begin to imagine. Anaxa seems to hold special interest in the divinity coursing through the Chrysos Heir's veins, and has even conducted a thorough investigation into the hero's background.
It wouldn't have been so strange if he had focused only on Cassie, given her own curiosity about her origins. Plus, considering that the new sporists have crafted omnipotent medicines capable of curing diseases, It also makes sense that he would conduct research on immortal Chrysos heirs. But now, it seems Anax's objective was never to create medicine, but to identify the origin of the golden blood and figure out its inner workings.
Through alchemy, Anaxa aims to refine the golden blood in the Chrysos heirs to a degree of purity equal to divinity. This must be what he means by close to true purity. But treating both Titan creations and the human body as materials to be used in alchemy experiments? That's rather extreme.
Danny, look at this. I have a bad feeling about this. My biggest fear. It's come true. After going through his notes, I think I can piece it all together now. Anaxa was carrying out experiments on soul transmutation.
Do you mean he's trying to reconstruct human souls alchemically?
Yes, this is what he was secretly conducting research on. Something he had to keep hidden from others. Compared to his public speeches, this is the real blasphemy. Oh, I just thought of something.
What's wrong?
Do you remember when the Black Tide was approaching? The Grove had planned to send Circe's core flame to a safe place. But an accident happened along the way, and Anaxa lost his life in the process.
But Circe took over his body and resurrected him, which led us to the situation we're in now.
That's right. But what if Professor Anaxa's fusion with the core flame of reason wasn't an accident?
What do you mean?
Put yourself in his shoes. Knowing that the Black Tide was closing in and your time was running out, what would you have done?
I put my theories to the test, no matter the cost.
Exactly. When the Black Tide came, the true reason Anaxa headed to the Luminary Throne was to transmute and fuse himself with the Titan's core flame.
Did he succeed?
No. Judging from how he reacted after the event, the results came as a surprise. Maybe he failed to consider the possibility that Circe's would make a similar decision. The manuscripts detailing all the alchemical formulae have been taken away. His research is still ongoing.
Could he have taken them for other purposes?
Like, what? There... No. No way.
To conceive an entity of perfection, one must first understand the principles of creation. He's after Kepler!
Sir, this sky above us, it's not real, is it?
Of course not. This is just an image from a projection device used for educational purposes. A simple trick. The day-night cycle has been lost to this world. So that students like you may still learn about the night sky, astronomers have harnessed the Titan's miraculous power to manipulate the light. projecting the knights of the past here for you. Much like how the sky above the holy city is also illuminated by Kefali's dawn device.
So, the skies of Akama are fake too.
You mustn't conclude that, Inoxa. You should know that only a child would expose a trick and be proud of it. Often people know more than they let on. They simply choose to feign ignorance because they have no other choice.
And they're just deluding themselves. People believe in Kefali's tale of Genesis, accepting wholesale whatever the priests preach. But we're different. We've already walked out of the firelit cave of ignorance. We have already realized that we live in a world where titans make the rules. Even when we look at the sky, we're only seeing what they allow us to see. Rather than gazing at this mockery of a night sky fabricated by them for the rest of my life, why shouldn't I be the one to take control of the projection device instead?
So much time has passed since you sowed the seeds of doubt in my heart, child. Many a night, I find myself penning down all my theories and wild ideas, only to burn them to ashes when I open my eyes in the day.
Why? Because we'll face death by burning if word gets out?
As a sage of the Venerationists, my soul has already become inextricably linked to the great tree. Every word I say and every move I make is certain to influence every leaf, every branch, even the tree itself. But above all else, my days are numbered. Instinctively, I have my doubts about the golden blood and the human soul, yet I have no means of verifying them. The golden blood in my veins is woefully thin, and I am loath to waste what little time I have left obsessing over a hypothesis that cannot even be proven in the first.
But I can, sir. I can do it for us. The time is right. Give me all that I need, and I shall accomplish this grand feat on your behalf.
You're right. I shall do just that. In the next meeting of the sages, go. Establish your own school of thought. Find out what we are. Become the one who conquers the ultimate truths of the world.
Child of humanity, you didn't go to such lengths for an audience with Kefali. Just ask him a few questions, did you?
So, you figured it out. If I were as foolish as a Dromus, perhaps I'd throw myself down and prostrate before their greatness, begging for the gods' prophetic wisdom. Well, sorry to disappoint, but I'm no Dromus. Alas, I am a human, standing tall on 2 feet, possessing both intellect and pride.
Before such power, does it make any difference whether you're a human or a Dromus?
I'm sure you're familiar with the story of the Styxians. When the raging waves threatened to swallow them, they didn't just give up and become sitting ducks. No. They constructed a dam that kept the roaring tide at bay, chaining down the mad Fagusa. They call me a blasphemer, Circes. But that doesn't mean I deny the existence of gods. It's just as I see it. Titans are simply a force that mankind has yet to find a way to tame.
Oh? If power that rivals the Titans is what you crave, why not conform to the prophecy and brave the trial?
Why stop at harnessing the power of the Titans when I can do so much more? The source of life is what I wish to grasp, to understand what makes up the soul, and to learn what we really are. Thanks to you, I've had the chance to personally verify, in more ways than one, that the soul indeed ceases to exist in death. But where there is death, there is life. And where there is an end, there must also be a beginning. How then is a soul born. That was the only unknown variable left in my
And by the sound of it, you have already formed a conjecture.
No. I have already drawn a conclusion. In my journey unto death just now, I finally saw the answer with my own eyes.
Professor Anaxa. I'm here. Her life hangs by a thread. I must ask you to refrain from taking any unnecessary steps.
Of course. I'll bring this to a conclusive end, and give you the answer you so desire. However, in accordance with the principle of equivalent exchange, I must also demand from you what I need.
As you wish.
Don't you care to know what the price might be?
It's a matter of uncovering the truth about the Death Titan and her survival. This may be the only time I can ever save someone's life. There is no need for me to think twice.
I see. In that case, let the show begin.
Indulge me. Am I correct to say that you intend to prove Thanatos' whereabouts and prove the nature of our existence now?
Before I begin, I must confess I had been stuck in a cognitive trap all this time. As unrelated as these two propositions may seem at first glance, they are in fact logical equivalents. They are merely two different ways of telling us about what the soul is at its core. The reason I say this is, as I've mentioned earlier, the answer was hidden in my journey unto death.
Professor, you were in the Netherrealm?
Yes, I am but a living dead man now, but that's not important. What truly matters is, I overheard a conversation between heroes. That's not all. Remember how I said you were a part of that conversation too, Circes?
And I've told you that I have no recollection of such an event. That was likely just an illusion conjured up by the mind of a dying man.
Of course you would remember, because that wasn't you. That was Calypso, one of the 7 sages of the Grove.
Calypso?
Huh? Oh, that's the name I made up on a whim when speaking to this girl. How do you know of it? And surely you jest. Don't you think I, of all people, would know if that were the name of one of the 7 sages under the shade of my tree? Don't you claim to know the Grove's past like the back of your hand?
It seems you've lost even the memories seared into your soul. Use your head, Circes. Since all of this took place in the realm of the dead, it stands to reason their likenesses are of souls from the past. The living cannot step foot into that world. So who could they be? Think about Calypso. Why does she share your likeness? Yet you have no idea who she is. The answer is evident, is it not? Those fallen heroes are the mortal incarnations of the Titans before their ascensions to godhood. The gods aren't master creators born out of thin air, and they are no different from humans, because they all evolved from one. Does this answer disappoint?
Yes, because you've answered nothing. If I truly was once human, as you claim, then where do the children of humanity come from?
Even on the off chance that you speak the truth, this brings us no closer to grasping Thanatos' whereabouts. How are we to find them?
I knew you would say that, but it matters not. I know what I'm doing. Actually, Why don't we have this supreme being standing before us tell us everything?
You can revive a titan?
Humans cannot return from the dead. Neither can gods. But all we need to do is look at this from a different perspective, and the problem will resolve itself. The solution is simple. Just like what you did to me. If I'm reborn as Kefali, I can rebuild the world and all within it as they once did. Simple, is it not?
I have news from Hyacinth and Danhung. Anaxa might be trying to do something with Kefali's divine body.
Kefali? But what could Anaxa want? Is the Council of Elders going to sit around and let such a sacrilegious act unfold?
That is not possible. He is indeed the great performer, capable of fooling anyone and everyone with his trick.
I'm sorry.
No need for guilt, for this is good news to us. The Council of Elders has found themselves a traitorous ally. Anaxa's ambitious desires will be something we can explore. What we should be doing now is to keep our eyes peeled for whichever trickery Kindness is up to, and react accordingly to thwart her plans. Being Akima's political center, the Demigod Council holds just as much significance as the Vortex of Genesis. Someday, after my duty is over, this site will take the place of the battlefield where you hunt gods. Become the next challenge you ought to overcome. Till then, it's best to get used to this place as soon as possible.
Preposterous! The Christosiers only have their standing because of the Council of Elders! How dare they trample over it!
Oh, wow. These people are shooting daggers with their eyes.
It's been a while. That's fine. I recognize you. The young lord has nothing but good words about your courage.
It has indeed been some time, Lord Krateros. What brings you here in such haste?
Shh. Keep it down. Be more vigilant. See those duplicitous dogs over there? They do the dirty work for Kindness. I've already ordered my people to hold them back, but we should still lay low. Unless you're itching for a bloody fight to get a workout in.
My bad. So, did something happen?
Did you hear thunderclaps last night? Thunderclaps are beacon signals of strife. They are a message from the young lord. He threw a spear bearing several words at Akama.
Watch out. The Flame Reaver is back.
I guessed as much. We didn't actually kill them back at the Kremnos Arena.
I figured this is something you would want to know. We Kremnoans never back down from a fight. So if you plan to take that thing down in a battle, reach out to me anytime.
You have my gratitude. I will let Aglaya know about this right away.
Remind her to be on her toes while you're at it. That vicious Kindness has been unusually active lately. Those lackeys she keeps under cover have been going in and out of the city a lot more frequently these days. Some even seem to be getting Kremnoans to defect to the Council.
That's her.
Looks like you can see it for yourself.
We should get back. Thank you for the intel, Lord Krateros.
By Kefali into Lent and above, as the Theoros, I have
Aglaya, what happened here?
I know about the poisonous fangs of that king snake through the golden threads. In the past, I would be confident about keeping her in check, but I admit, I am now unable to do so.
What do you...
It is no longer about eloquence or arguments. I have been a demigod for far too long, that I hardly have any humanity left. Before I realized it, I have become no different from these hypocrites. No longer capable of relating to the people. This has come a lot sooner than I expected. But perhaps it is time. I need you to step up, Finan, in order for me to retreat behind the scenes.
Yes, this is my duty, but...
It is far easier for the Council of Elders to fool many than just fool one person. Their so-called more support is no more than a ruse to distribute power using words instead of lances. There is no glory in winning this debate. But that makes having respect for humans so much more priceless. Finan, you are a Chrysos heir without flaw, capable of relating deeply with humans.
I appreciate what you've taught me, Aglaya. I hope we'll live up to your expectations and win this debate.
Oh, you've done well, Lord Calictus. Let me take over and personally close this debate for today. Dearest counselors, let it be known that I sorely miss the blissful times portrayed in lyrical poems. Back then, Amphorius was home to nearly 1,000 cities, each with their own local faith, while gods. Yet, in the present, people from all over are forced to leave their homeland to seek refuge in the holy city, where they hope to rest under Kethali's protection. All of us have long been. We didn't have a choice in the past, but now the Council of Elders brings to the table a new possibility. All I have... Would you rather strive toward the unheard of Era Nova, or return to the prosperous Era Chrysia of our past? Now, which of the two would lead mortals to an...
Era Nova is a path of salvation the gods promised. We should not have doubts in the Flame Chase journey.
We all know that Era Chrysia is a thing of the past, Lady Kindness. Please, enlighten me. How does the Council of Elders plan to turn back time?
Let the three Titans of Calamity be born, and Era Chrysia is nevermore. But bring demise to those Titans, and Era Chrysia will descend upon us again. Know that the Council of Elders is never one to make empty promises. Look at who we have on our side. Anaxagoras, one of the Grove's 7 sages, and Castorus, Idonia's goddess of death. With the help of these two heroes, I can promise...
Aren't they Chrysos heirs? There's a...
It's clear from the start that these heroes do not get along well in their group. All the more proof that Aglaya is unfit to speak on behalf of every Chrysos.
Castorus? Why are you...
You finally arrived, Anaxa. So have you.
Don't worry, Aglaya. Well, I know that you have many queries. Could you continue to converse like how the citizens normally do? Tell me, dear citizen, if we successfully retrieve and return Thanatos' core flame without anyone passing the Death Titan's trial, what would happen next?
The answer is simple. We will have a chance to rid the world of death and bring Amphorius back to an era when all beings live forever. We'll usher in a new future that will be entirely different from the Flame Chase journey.
He's one of the 7 sages. Your proposal is much too idealistic. As long as the Black Tide still exists, how can we go back to the old days.
Remember what I previously said? Kefali's core flame is guarded by the secret power of the Council of Elders. Plus, Fagusa's water curtain will be able to block out any external perceptions. Tell me, dear citizens, have any of you ever seen even a glimpse of the threat that this person is talking about anywhere within the walls of this majestic...
If we eliminate death, then there's citizens, let's loudly sing the blessed hymn.
After the destruction of the 3 Titans of Calamity, the Flame Chase journey will have to end.
This is bad. The masses are now totally riled up.
Anaxa, pray tell. Everything that you've mentioned hinges on the premise that we can find Thanatos' existence, right?
Thank you, Lady Ablaya, for still caring about this city. However, dear citizens, we are for Castorus, Idonia's goddess of death, will surely find Thanatos under my...
What? With that, I solemnly promise that the core flame Lady Castorus brings back will be personally manned. Thereafter, if we are able to garner the support...
With the ballot, Akama has chosen her destiny. The issue up for discussion at this Citizens' Assembly shall be modified to the suspension of the Flame Chase journey. This
Aglaya, dear...
Wag your tongue as much as you like. Since the Flame Chase journey has been preordained by the prophecy, our failure has never been on the card.
Well then, I guess we'll find out if that's true at the Citizens' Assembly.
Castorus? What's going on?
Well, it seems that when I sent you to look for Anaxa, I unintentionally facilitated your partnership with him instead.
My apologies, everyone. I know that you have many questions to ask me. I will answer them to the best of my knowledge.
In that case...
In actuality, he showed me a past that was both long and heavy.
The reason I say this is as I've mentioned earlier. The answer was...
Professor!
Yes, I am but a living dead man now. But that's not important. What truly matters is...
Have you heard of this tale before? A tale about the ocean god's treasured pearl, our hometown. It was a seaside town which enjoyed the ocean breeze and glorious, peaceful times, thanks to the wisdom of its ruling queen. Until one day, an evil dragon descended upon the town. Its wings were large enough to blot out the sun, while its claws were sharp enough to rip the waves apart. It barged into the tall tower and devoured the queen's beloved daughter. It even settled itself, and the queen assembled 300 warriors who managed to subdue the evil dragon by chaining it up. However, when the queen slit open the dragon's belly, she realized that the princess had long... It was then that a devious, smooth-talking scholar arrived at the palace and suggested that the princess could be revived through the use of dragon bone and dragon blood. That liar called this process the secret art of... The princess was reborn! The queen was overjoyed, blissfully unaware that the evil dragon's soul still lurked within the princess's body. As revenge, the evil dragon swallowed the poor queen, the glib liar, the courageous warriors, and all of the town. Worse still, the souls of the deceased refused entry to the Netherrealm because they were filled with regret. Forced to roam the mortal realm, These resentful souls ultimately converged into a river of souls that would not retreat. Terrifying death had consumed all. Thereafter, our hometown fell into ruin as well. Until...
Until?
Actually, I don't know what happened next either.
Oh my. It seems that you still like to whet people's appetites even after all this time, Pelixia. So, according to your story, this is how I used to look? It's practically a mirror image. And yet, what exactly is this?
A miracle that I created with alchemy. As for what it is and how I was able to accomplish it, I'll keep the answers to myself for now.
Oh, my goodness. Is this cliffhanger really...
Quiet, Titan. Continue to enjoy this splendid play, and the truth will naturally reveal itself.
Dragon, huh? I've heard this legend before.
In that case, what...
I think that this so-called alchemy was a tenuous analogy added to the story by future generations. After all, you've never heard of a tradition of alchemy in your hometown before, have you?
Indeed. Before I left home to pursue my education, I never even knew that anybody was looking into this area of study.
Therefore, we can just treat this tale as a fabled...
A fable, you say? If so, what?
I guess it might be the concept of equivalent exchange?
Oh? I thought the moral might be closer to something like honor the dead. What? At a loss for words?
No. I merely realized that we're both thinking of the same principle. If life is priceless, then there is hardly anything else in this world that is of equal weight to it, right?
Indeed. As expected of the wisest scholar in the land.
You flatter me. Why don't I ask you a question as well?
Of course. What
if I imparted my knowledge of the art of alchemy to you, would you use it to resurrect someone you love?
What? What kind of strange question is this? I got it. You're...
Let's just leave it at that. That was rude of me. Oh?
Death is inevitable. In the days to come, I'm certain that someone whom I cherish deeply will leave me for if such a mighty power really existed. I think I would use it without, after all, you, me, and the rest will all have to face that fateful moment. My time is finally here. However,
You shall wither, and through that, the dead will sprout again from the remains, and be reborn with the dead flame. It is a pity that fate is such a cruel mistress.
Is there no other way of interpreting those words?
I'm afraid that the meaning is clear. Between my sister and me, one must pay the price. Our trial can only be completed when the one chosen sacrifices her life. I'm afraid that the prophecy might even have selected a pair of twins for this exact purpose.
Fortune makes fools of us all.
My sister is prepared to sacrifice herself. And yet, I can't do the same. How absurd. My time is almost up, but I'm still afraid to welcome death. What should we do? If I'm ultimately not able to make up my mind...
Since Chaos is willing to guide all of us and leave this trial to the end, there is still plenty of time for you to ponder.
That's right. Don't allow the fog of an uncertain future to cloud your mind.
Trial, prophecy, the topics that they're discussing. But these three people must not have left their names in the epics. Otherwise, I would have some recollection.
Amphorius' history before the Titans were born was complete chaos. Is that not strange by itself? I have long held three hypotheses about this. However, let's continue watching for now.
Calypso, Polixia, and this warrior.
Regarding this matter, Nias, are you confident that you'll complete your trial?
Of course. Though, I am worried about what will happen once I've emerged victorious.
Looks like you have made up your mind.
Yes, this is the safest course of action.
Completely separating courage, honor, tenacity, sacrifice, and reason. You really know how to make things difficult.
Please, young lady, witness my fall and demise. Lady Calypso, you shall host the soul-rending ceremony.
I do not understand. Why would you dare to sacrifice yourself for a future that you won't get to witness?
Because this is our destiny. The power that resides within me is so intense that I will one day be engulfed by it. Furthermore, a valorous death before glorious return has always been the path I chose to walk. A journey I began long ago. If your sister or Callus were in my position, I believe they would make the same choice as well.
I'm not that brave. I don't know how I'm supposed to face such a serious affair.
Despite being Death's chosen one, it seems you still don't know how to face it. Let's chat, young lady. Perhaps I shouldn't end my journey so hastily. Since there's still time, I'm not worried about letting fate wait a little long.
Of course. This has the embodiment of Nikador's divinity. He entrusted his life to us and allowed humankind to end his madness. That means that what I'm currently seeing before my eyes...
Looks like one hypothesis of mine has already been proven true. These heroes are the true forms of the Titans, before they attain their divinity. If so, the chosen one of death that he speaks of is actually...
Polixia? Is the previous form of Thanatos?
If this is true, as long as we can find out where she went, we'll naturally be able to figure out the location of the Death Titan.
But before that, we first need to witness what ultimately happened to Lord and I. Nikador's courage is a testament that they have never once retreated from a battle.
I've heard that these words are still engraved in Castrum Kremnos even today. It didn't occur to me that they were actually part of an alchemical formula. Sealed within this statue is undoubtedly his sacrifice.
They use their own body as our city walls, keeping out and protecting us from the pervasive spread of madness. They are acutely aware that if the end times were to arrive, there would be nothing left in this world to conquer.
Honor, courage, tenacity. sacrifice.
And finally, the only thing that remains is reason.
Cheer up, young lady. There is no need to shed tears over a glorious death.
All farewells in this world are sorrowful, Lord Naius.
No, young lady. As a warrior, I have witnessed too many bitter deaths. But now, all I feel is peace. I did not know until this moment that mortals could live their lives in such a way.
Although only a sliver of your soul remains, you remain so optimistic. Or maybe the truth is that you aren't able to feel sorrow anymore.
To be honest, I don't know either. But I am certain of one thing. This is not an acceptance of death nor apathy toward it. It's not even a fear. I am just enjoying what remains of my life to the fullest.
Enjoying?
Indeed. Along this journey that we've taken together, not only have I changed and now I have reached the journey's end. When I look back and see the grand epic that I've personally written, how could I not revel in that fact?
But when you depart the mortal realm, won't all of your accomplishments be reduced to nothing? Separation and death are two sides of the same coin. Reconciling this doesn't come easily for a mortal.
Finally, let me recount to you a story of mine, young lady. The first time I returned from the battlefield, I felt extremely hollow. The calamity had devoured everybody on the battlefield but me. When I returned to the city alone, the citizens held a banquet for me that was far from pleasant. I felt as though I was still on the battlefield, and the person who had returned was nothing but an empty shell. It was late into the night by the time the banquet ended. My head still reeling, I returned alone to the barracks. It was a crazed scholar looking at the night sky and muttering to himself by the side of the road. Although I tripped over him and fell, I wasn't angry in the slightest. And maybe because I saw myself in him, I inexplicably asked him a question. Do you think that it'd be better if we just died on the roadside like a couple of stray dogs? To my surprise, he shrugged his shoulders.
How does someone who is currently experiencing death, dying and living, afford the same amount of bliss? Now please go away and don't block my starlight.
Are you trying to say that there is no difference between living and dying? For they are both journeys that lead toward death?
That's exactly what life is. And death is but a scale to measure how valuable the journey was. Journeys and epics are only glorious and magnificent because all things eventually fade to dust. Therefore, young lady, don't detest your fate. Instead, willingly and respectfully embrace it.
The embodiment of strife telling me about the majesty of the world.
Indeed. I believe that when the fated moment eventually arrives, you will be able to understand my words. It is time for me to knock on death's door. I will set up a long table at the end of the road and humbly await your arrival. When that moment finally comes, let us drink and be merry then.
I knew this day would eventually come.
Are the both of you ready?
Mm-hmm. Calixia, I'm here. What? This...
This is quite interesting indeed.
Is this... Calixia's sister? Is it... me?
for us to fulfill our promises. Are you afraid? What are you afraid of?
That I won't be able to do it.
You shall wither, and through that, the dead will sprout again from the remains, and be reborn with the dead flame. As foretold in the prophecy, and according to our vows, once it all ends, we must face our fated moment head-on.
Even if it was prophesied, do we have no say in the matter? It's so unfair. Why are we the only ones who are forced into mutual destruction? Let me do it, sister. Let me be death sacrifice. I was never long for this world anyway. But you're different. I was the one who wasted your life after all.
You're wrong, Polixia. I don't think that my life was wasted. Just the opposite. When I finally arrived at this destination and looked back at the journey I took, I discovered that flowers had long since bloomed along the path I walked. It was you who sowed the seeds for this sea of flowers, one that is more beautiful than the promised land at the end of the world. Besides, I have lived a fulfilling life. Even though I was fated for sacrifice, none of the things that I've experienced will dissipate. Instead, they'll forever live on as memories inside your head. Will they not?
How could my memories of you ever come?
Well then, tell me, what exactly are we? I don't know either. But regardless of what the answer is, regardless of how we're shaped by others, or even by this world, ever since we were born, the fact that we existed was predestined, and nothing could erase it. This is why I will always, always be by your side. We're twins, after all. All right, my dear Polixia. It's time to extract my heart and light the flame of death. After that, use it to plant the first bud in the prophesied new world.
If I imparted my knowledge of the... Would you use it to resurrect someone you loved? Death is inevitable. In the days, if such a mighty power really existed, I think... Even now, my answer remains the same. This is why, sister, in the prophesied new world, I shall plant the first bud on your go now. Return to the ocean god's treasured pearl. Our hometown, I shall open wide the entrance to the nether realm and grant you a second life. The living beings on this earth shall respond to my call and lead you to the sacred daylight. Remember, do not look back on the land of the dead, and do not stop moving. In the new world promised by the prophecy, march toward your new life. Ask for the price of our equivalent exchange. Let me be the one to pay it.
Everybody, we've come to the end. Unfortunately, I am not compatible with the Supreme Being, so I was unable to completely fuse their soul into my own body. However, being able to glean all this from them is exciting enough. I'm certain of this now. Before the titans that we are well acquainted with were born, a group of heroes roamed the land. These heroes followed a prophecy and took possession of divine authorities one by one, until they eventually became the pantheon of the new world, just like the flame chase journey of today. Amphorius's history is cyclical in nature.
Huh. What a startling revelation. This means that the demigods, who bear the core flames, will also become the new titans at the world's end, thereby shaping a new world?
I believe that this is the truth behind the Era Nova, as mentioned in the prophecy.
Besides, those twins in the past, even if they really are Thanatos,
Are their whereabouts truly unknown? Didn't Polixia mention that seaside town? The birthplace of alchemy and the tale of the... In our world, there exists a city which perfectly matches that description. Styxia.
But the people there worship Vagusa and bear no relation to Thanatos. I have also never been to that place, as in the time of Idonia, it had long turned into underwater ruins.
Take this.
This is...
The new Sporist masterpiece, the Philosopher's Stone. It was made by transmuting all of the sages' wisdom into a single entity, with their flesh and blood as its foundation. Remember? I've mentioned before that the art of alchemy is all about conversion, tempering, and ascension. This process also applies to the pursuit of truth. Regardless of how unbelievable this sounds, the truths of the world have been refined from the impurities. Think about the story of the dragon. This stone will lead you to your real hometown, allowing you to reform the door to the Netherrealm and discover Thanatos' fate.
You still look as confident in your victory as ever. But what if your conjecture is wrong?
Simple. I shall merely admit to the entire world that my experiment was a failure. However, my line of thinking will not fail, because I have already planted the seeds of doubt into the hearts of the masses. Actions speak louder than words, Castorus. With the assembly about to begin, don't forget the promise you've made.
I've already searched for so long. I'm willing to try one more time. While we converse, her life is also slowly slipping, but before I leave, I have another question. What exactly did we witness just now?
That was the world imprinted in Kefali's soul. If we are to prove its existence, you must take the final step. Go. Do not disappoint me.
I understand.
Hey, child of humanity.
Don't get antsy. I still remember the question you posed to me. As a scholar, I do not wish to offer up ambiguous conclusions. Let's discuss this topic again when she manages to find the evidence.
I merely wanted to ask, was that stone transmuted from your heart? If so, rebirth is no longer an option for you.
Why not? When I was a child, I lost someone dear to me. When I was a teenager, I lost my faith. A while back, although you saved my life, I also lost my soul in the process. Now I'm merely forsaking my body. What's the big deal?
Why are you always finding ways to die? Isn't it good to be alive?
This is but a necessary sacrifice on my path to transform into the purest of them all.
Can someone who's dead even claim to be the purest of them all? Furthermore, if your hypothesis is proven correct, does it not just confirm that the myths are true, and thereby invalidate all your theories?
No, it's just the opposite. If my hypothesis is correct, it means that I can actually ascend to godhood and reshape this absurd world that you all have created.
That's a lot to take in at once.
Lady Aglaya, please, let me explain. You know that the core flame of death has always been the greatest unknown regarding the Era Nova, which is why both you and Kindness desire to gain the power to control that core flame in the approaching Citizens' Assembly. Professor Anaxa has come to a consensus with Kindness. They want to suspend the trial once Thanatos' core flame is reclaimed, hoping thus to eradicate death from this world. If they're successful, then the flame chase journey will cease, and Akama can enjoy everlasting peace. But I know this runs counter to your wishes. So long as we do not usher in Era Nova, the Black Tide will never be eradicated. Even with Lord Mighty on the front line, and the Black Tide not posing an immediate risk, the danger nevertheless remains. Honestly, it's difficult for me to assess the pros and cons in this decision. But someone must bring the core flame before we can begin negotiations over. The Titan could be very near. I cannot let this chance slip by. Besides, someone has to make this trip to bring back Mrs. Soul.
Well said. You already had every reason to seek an audience with Thanatos. It's that great performer who has weaponized your wishes and placed us in this difficult situation. A world without death. Do you desire that too?
If fate dictates that my path must oppose yours, I will do all I can to resist it and protect what I aspire to achieve. Lord Mighty showed me that without taking the first step, all talk of what follows is moot.
I have always hoped to hear you speak your mind, Cass. And I am glad to have heard your true thoughts, Styxia. I visited that place in the past. Though it is now an island surrounded by the river of Soul's torrents, it's not hard to see its former split go. I will not stand in your way. As for you, you are someone who has cheated death. I believe you have more than enough reason to make the trip with Casterus and meet the god of death himself. Casterus, I too look forward to your journey. I wonder what kinds of new interpretations your completed story will bring to the Flame Chase journey.
Thank you, Lady Aglaya.
I hate to put a damper on this heartwarming moment, but if Styxia is now an island surrounded by the river of Soul's torrents, then how do we find a way in? Lady Trebe is probably...
The answer is quite simple. In the Mids, Zagreus once made the domain of the dead their treasure vault. That is to say, they could enter and leave the Netherrealm as they pleased, and if they could do that, then it follows that the demigod who inherited their divinity must be capable of the same. I'll see you at Marmorial Palace at Action Hour tomorrow. Cypher shall be your guide to finding that ancient city.
Downhung isn't back yet.
rustling wind plays a melody as the girl looks over this courtyard petite and exhales, gently dispersing the palm-held blessings. The entire yard is lit softly, like a dandelion babe.
Is this courtyard a tad too small?
It's okay, Clementine. As long as it provides warmth plenty.
The girl makes the courtyard tidy, and in the Evernight lands outside the Holy City, there is now a light curing soul's malady. The girl's skills can bring forth miracles, but today she welcomes a patient quite special.
Welcome to the Twilight Courtyard. How can I help you?
The gravely patient shakes their head.
The end times are coming, and we all wander more and more. Oh, you may heal our wounds, but you cannot cure despair.
The girl watches the patient leave, and her heart swells in sorrow.
Clementine, prepare some things with me. I want this place to be brighter tomorrow.
The redhead child takes the girl's hands.
Long time no see, Hyacinth. Are you here in Akama for a visit, or do you need help from us?
The girl recounts her needs.
I want some shining things, even if they are considered junk.
Multicolored paper bags, crystal clear glass, cottons variously dyed, and jingling wind chimes. The girl brings them back to the courtyard and spares no effort to decorate all around. And when some fireflies wander in, the girl is all smiles.
Little ones, thank you for your light.
The patient returns here and opens their eyes wide. Multicolored dreams on the rooftop now reside, and the lawns contain the sweet whispers of sunlight. A soft breeze passes with no hint of cold, only serving to wake the playful chimes and ocarinas of delight.
Wow, there's light everywhere. What a warm place.
The news is soon spread by the grove, and people with empty hearts visit in droves. The girl prepares candies and tea and listens to every visitor's complaints. People say there was once a star called the sun in the sky, but now that star is no longer there. People say that Aquila took away the world's light, but they still left behind a heart bright to illuminate this happy dream in the night. Like the blizzards in the month of mourning, doth calamity fall, burying warmth and dawn's calls. Orderless tides swallow up the grove of reason, and that tiny healing haven is also extinguished, broken and barren. When the girl, far from home, hears of such grave news, the wind brings her a moment of confusion. But it also evaporates the tears that briefly sparkle into being, and the girl still smiles, bright and happy. Soon, the people of Akama see once again the girl collecting more pieces and tokens, wanting to rebuild that pure haven. But she never realized that wherever she stood, she herself was that holy courtyard, that light-filled haven. born with an evil curse. Her hand dips into lethal cinnabar and white lead to personally decorate the faces of the dead. Her skills are said to bestow beauty on anyone, even transforming their appearance completely. Many skills were born out of her seclusion, but it painted her dwelling in a gloomy vision. Only a select few have set foot in this mansion, and the thief and the weaver were two such lucky persons. The girl converses with all items in the house. Specimens, tea sets, and even pillows in profusion, as if she can hear the responses of these non-living things.
I have always lived in isolation. Out of courtesy, this is how I practice my words and actions.
'Tis hard to believe her explanation. Her face when talking shows such a gentle disposition that unless she is telling fabrications, she must regard her partners as mere children. Thus, people pass these rumors down. Within the area of her encirclement, all things became frozen, escaping time's increments. It is an exaggeration, that is certain. People only found an ancient lion's head in battle's ruined armaments.
Those words are true.
The head itself was nearly dead.
Though they won in fierce battle, the warriors were powerless to turn the tide. It was the embrace where death dwelled that gave early release from their pain.
This is how death escapes time. She keeps every final embrace hidden in her immortal heart. Out of her numerous works, butterflies and flowers often stand out stark. Ignite them, and you can almost hear the maker's remark. Even in death's silence, her sound can still be heard. It is a gift greatly treasured by the maiden. Few have the honor to be graced with such work. Only one has the heart to burn such a gift. And the reason she gives is rather far-fetched.
I must peer into all fates unknown.
The power of time is boundless. But there is one thing that it cannot conquer.
Death is abominable in humans' eyes. Apart from my identity, there's nothing about me worthy of praise.
The beloved Goldweaver hears this in distress, then tries to teach her the art of weaving and threads. It has been said that the maiden has works that the holy city possesses. But this is the judgment the Goldweaver expresses.
Ah, well, none can know all things, nor be skilled in all crafts. Her works are too early for the living to comprehend.
This is a tale buried in history. One day, a student elated in victory dashed around the Grove's territory.
I saw the spell the professor carved on his body.
The youth with white hair was beside himself in joy.
It must be a power most secret. A means for one man to stand against 1,000.
That spell was rare indeed, for it was a secret way to overturn a cart of hay. The scholar was still a mortal body, as yet to snatch life from death, or to reforge a new flesh through a god's remedy. Various minute tricks and parody. He studied them all, crafting schemes, oh so busy. For everyone knows, he wishes not to use the divine power that is his, refusing rightful custody. And in that unwitnessed moment of his death, final tragedy, he still held the hay cart spell steady, standing alone, facing the evil enemy. Now, that craft is regarded as a magnificent study, not because of what it was, but because of its purpose, known to everybody. In fact, he once crafted miracles, forging silent servants using soil as vehicle. Though no sentience, they do their job without obstacles, rivaling Titankin in spectacle. However, one day, he suddenly changes his tune.
Creation is the Titan's work, and slavery is the Titan's manacle. When imitating divine evil, there's no need to invest reason, most pinnacle.
When the servants have all been recycled, he deigns not to explain, fearing to waste his reason or muscle. So he jokingly concludes the questioning with a chuckle.
If it's just for odd jobs, students are a better gamble.
The way he addresses himself comes from elsewhere. An imitation of a divine machine with some flair. He happily answers 5 questions for those unaware. Knowledge seemingly given with stingy care.
For a wise one, 5 answers reveal creation's secrets, the truth hidden and bold. But a fool learns but not, and is left in the cold. Now, inquire.
That is in fact the scholar's crafty snare. He hides the answer he seeks behind questions posed by those unaware, doling breadcrumbs as bait to lure and compare, whether the inquirer may be worthy of his wisdom to share. The scholar never looks at laws and measurements, ignoring the flow and shift of time's passage, and uncomprehending students gossip in eager regiments.
Why? Obviously to drag out class time as a statement.
The student's answer seems rather adamant.
He is panicked by the flow of time, for his work is yet done, yet to implement.
The stubborn assistant interjects in a rare display of testament.
This man is too arrogant, and he intends to desecrate Orynyx's accomplishments.
The passing sage from another school brings admonishment. Outside the courtyard, the gossip flows into the scholar's ear. He silently gives a grade to every question and argument. But none know the true answer, according to his judgment.
debate finally over? Did you win? Won a glorious defeat. You sure know how to look on the bright side. Well, moving on. I was hard at work even while you were at the debate. I borrowed a mountain of books from Cass to see if I could find a way to solve your problem. Let's see. Only 32 books to go. Really? Oh, that's fantastic news. I knew it. Hard work always pays off. Especially if you're as diligent as Ma'am. I feel like a huge burden has finally been lifted off my Why am I... Oh, you're right. Then I'll go back to...
Good night, ma'am. Good night, Hakama. It is nighttime now, right?
Cass?
Lady Treeby.
Is something troubling you?
I just wanted to speak to Lady Trian for a bit before I set off. No matter how breathtakingly beautiful Styxia once was, the place is now the domain of the departed. There is no telling what we'll encounter there. I don't want to have any regrets.
Has anyone told you that your eyes are sparkling today?
Is that a figure of...
In the past, when you did smile once in a while, all of us could see that your heart remained troubled, even as you smiled.
Lady Treeby, you know perfectly well that see you tomorrow is nothing but a white lie. I hope your toughness is not a mask hiding a lonely heart.
Cass, you hardly ever talked of your past. None of us knows what you went through, apart from Maggie. But we know it must have been filled with pain and hardships, as it is the fate every Chrysosaur is destined to live out. We are just happy for you, that the core flame you're meant to inherit has finally surfaced.
Isn't it a little too soon to say that?
But you already know where tomorrow is, don't you? There is no need to rely on anyone else. Just give it your all and leave no regrets. We have always believed that your embrace is just as warm as everyone else's, because we embrace others to comfort them. And Cass, you're the kindest Chrysosaur we know.
Thank you, Lady Treeby. This feeling... it's hard to put into words. I suddenly found myself with so many wishes. So much I want to accomplish before setting off.
Then go do it, Cass. Trian was actually working on a surprise gift for you. It's a pity she didn't get to finish it. But now Trinan and I are working on it, and we'll make sure to give it to you. So, let's meet back here when you return from Styxia. Safe travels. See you tomorrow!
I can't sleep. Who could...
It's me. I hope I didn't wake you. Huh? No. I'm here because of private matters, actually. If it isn't too much to ask, I'd really like it if you could come along with me to retrieve something. Aren't you going to ask me what it is? It isn't a long way from here. Shall we?
streets are packed.
I want to vote! Tell me how I can vote!
Take your ceramic shard engraved with the Kefali rune, select the Council of Elders in your heart, and pray silently until the shard registers your choice. Then toss it into the Dolan.
The Council of Elders? More like the Council of Buffoons?
The Titans are just. So long as we do not over...
Oh, please. The time...
And I pray that Talantans...
That was... I suppose peaceful is technically correct if no actual violence happened. To this day, I still find it almost unreal that Akama is the only place illuminated by light amidst the crumbling ruins of Amphorius. And its people are even holding votes to reconcile differing opinions. This peaceful sight is making me forget that this is the end times. Before coming here, I had lived for many years in Idonia, a city of rime and frost. The people there were devotees of Thanatos, and were well known for their unique burial rites and traditions that I played a major role in. Yes. You now know me as the Mortician of Akama. But back in those days, I was Idonia's maiden of war. I was trudging across the frosty plains on my own when the Idonians found me. They saw the curse in me as a blessing from Thanatos, and believed that my hands could correct the Aracrisia's mistake and lead them to meet the great god of death. They provided me shelter. I was expected to grant merciful deaths to war captives, prisoners bound for execution, and heroes alike. Yes, no matter how kind or cruel the means, nothing can change the essence. Taking away someone's life is never worthy of religious worship. I can't do it. Their voices.
I know that feeling, but you must respect those walking towards death. Just like how you should respect yourself as the...
What you're asking me to do is no better than the task of an executioner. No matter the titles, I am still taking away human lives.
This won't be the first time that Edonia's fanatical nether warriors have faced death. On the contrary, recruits new to the battlefield often run away from their first fight. Death is the mightiest and gravest power in this world. Then let me tell you. In Idonia, the great swords commonly used by executioners are called Draconian, in memory of Dracon, an elderly. The sword has 3 air holes along its body. If the sword is swung down swiftly and accurately, the holes would make no sound, and the executed would also depart this world quickly. But should the executioner have any hesitation, the holes would produce a piercing whistle. Every executioner after Dracon is to hone their sword skills every day in preparation of future executions. Every swing of their blade, pain for the dying. You misunderstand, child. I am not telling you. I'm asking you to consider the source of the dead's suffering and use that knowledge to fortify your future touches with more. Go, walk with the dead and love them as you love life. Then you'll no longer...
Please, don't kill me. I don't want to die.
This is your duty. Remember, consider the source of the dead's suffering, then give them the respect they did.
Thank you. I beg you. Don't listen to her.
If you cannot learn to accept death, then I don't. This is your last chance.
No, please. No.
May you gain some insights through his sacrifice. No. Come with me. This is just the beginning of your life as the Maiden of...
You executioner!
Do it then, executioner. I curse you to live in eternal.
Life is not so fragile. As you wish. Stand still. Thrashing and snapping, not worth feeling. Be intoxicated. Relax. Innocent to the ears. Embrace a new life. Please. When will this ever end? What are you trying to do with me?
I have aged. The time has come for me to heed the summons of Thanatos and journey the final resting place of every Idon.
You're not that old yet. You still have many, many years.
No. I'm already dead, or I have come to fear my declining health and impending death. Casterus, will you give me one last chance to charge towards fear and prove that I am no coward? Child, it was I who brought you here from the frosty plains and set your farcical fate in motion. It was also I, Chief Executioner of Idonia, who forced the heavy duty of executing others onto you. I've always known that you have doubts and even anger about my faith and about me.
I never had a choice.
Indeed. We essentially abducted you. Yet you can end any sinful life with just a touch of your fingers. Shouldn't it be easy for you to escape from?
I'll never. It doesn't matter how lightly the Idonians take death, or how readily they accept it. I simply can't do it.
I knew I was right about you. I've taught you and cared for you as my own daughter all this time because of this blessing that's been with you since your birth. I know no one else in the world would understand the weight of life and death. In the eyes of an Idonian, death is the end of all life. A destination we will all eventually reach. Humans should not resist it, but learn how to face it. You can only live your life to the fullest after understanding this principle. And when you do, even if you eventually leave Idonia's protection, even if you must carry the curse forever, you can live with your head held high, like everyone else.
No.
Come now. It's time. I've already taught you all that I know. Show me that you are a fitting holy maiden. Or at least that you possess the resolve to become one. Come now. It's time. I've already taught you all that I know. Show me that you are a fitting holy maiden. Or at least that you possess the resolve to become one.
May death protect us! Stand still. Enemy of Lisa's rebels, your cries rise. Relax. This was the last time I followed her command. I gently touched the elderly woman before me. The executioner, who had seen too much death, died the same way as everyone else. I gasped for air, a wistful look in her eyes, and a barely perceptible tremor in her fingertips. Elder Amonette, the person who tried to teach me about death, ultimately vanished like dew in the morning mist. She spent her life embodying the beliefs of the Idonians, and when death finally came, she embraced it exactly as their doctrine had taught. I have nothing but respect for her. I erected a cenotaph in her honor in the marshes outside Idonia's city walls with the others I had laid to rest. Then, I set out once more in search of Thanatos. It was a long, long journey. I heard so many discussions about death along the way. Life finds meaning in death. The world improves because there is an end. It seems the most terrible darkness in this world. Everyone talks about its heavy weight. Some resist it, some worship it, and some even revere it. How did a disappeared titan become the deepest fear of humankind? And why do they haunt my dreams? I continued my travels to seek an answer. Initially, I was running away. Then, I started searching for it. And now, at the end, I just want to know if my touch, if my embrace, can do more than taking things away. Can I make anything? Can I leave anything behind?
I don't want to die. Please, I'm begging you, just let me go. I don't want to die, please. I don't want mercy. mercy like this. Just let me go. I need him. I don't.
I hate these icy hands.
Get it over with. End its suffering.
The Reaper has blessed your hands. Only you can grant them peace. Embrace death. Walk alongside it.
Is that you, Castorus? All of them have gone, heeding death's summon, crossing into their domain. I must go too. I don't fear it, just I have some regrets. Watching people leave this world again and again, it must be lonely for you. You to desperately embrace them before they go. I can't. These hands, they're too cold. But Big Sister Castoris, your hands are so warm. Just like anyone else's. So go on. Don't hold back.
Give me a warm hug.
Can hands like these really be warm?
On the day that Orynyx's trial ended, you must have had many questions. I felt just as confused. Why, as someone from beyond the sky, were you so cruelly dragged into Amphorius's fate? I wished I could take action, but no matter how hard I try, I cannot simply interact with the living as ordinary people do, even when we brushed against each other unintentionally in the grove. And it was obvious that nothing had happened. When an almost unattainable hope finally welled up in my heart, when I thought that perhaps my touch would no longer bring sorrow, fate declared to me, it wasn't that the curse of death had finally been lifted, but that your soul no longer belonged to this world. And there was nothing left for my hands to take. And did I really think this time would be any different? It's not that I don't understand this reality, just that I'm unwilling to accept it. Having walked such a long road, I am still unable to find the answer to life and death. I am resigned to eternal despair. Anything I wish to hold on to, death will inevitably wrest from my grasp. From that moment on, I lacked the courage to confirm it again. Until Orynyx laid bare the cruel truth before us. But now, perhaps I might have one last chance. Long ago, Trinan read a prophecy to me. At the end of the Sea of Flowers, the souls of the living shall warm thy fingertips, and after an embrace, there shall be eternal separation. I found no surprise in it, for her words sounded not like a foretelling, but a perfect reflection of my past. Embraces in this world are born of reunions, yet my touch speaks only of farewells. In that moment, I had no doubt that this destiny would weave itself through the entirety of my life. And yet, things have taken a turn for the better. Now that I can finally have an audience with Thanatos, perhaps I can rewrite the meaning of that fated prophecy. I have no reason,
not to give it my all, for your sake, and for my own. With that, I won't have any regrets. Let's put that aside for the moment. We've arrived. I want to retrieve a small gift I specially prepared for you. I made it myself, like the trinket I gave Lady Trianne. I want to leave something for everyone, if possible. The journey to seek an audience with the Death Titan cannot be an easy one. I want to make full use of every moment I have before we depart, so that I don't have any regrets. Then, perhaps you can have a look at it first. You don't have to take it if you don't like it. Look, it's right there. Huh? Where did it go? What's going on? This is the coin of Zagreus and a slate. So it's her. It's Lady Cypher, the demigod of Zagreus whom Lady Aglaia had spoken of. She's a master thief who's left legendary tales all over Amphoria. So many years have passed, yet she's still announcing herself in such a crass manner. Let's just do as the slate says and look for Lady Cypher. Look, it's right there.